Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're at. I'm Vlad TI, and this is Vlad TI Streams. And I just want to welcome everybody back. This video is going to be at a request to understand the indicator Trendlines with Breaks by Lux Algo. Okay? I believe the indicator comes with some defaults. Let's see. If I reset the settings, yeah. These are the default settings for Lux Algo. And I'm going to explain a little bit about that right here, right first, because it draws some fairly decent trend lines, without a doubt. And it gives fairly decent signals. As you can see, it gave a break and come up. But it does not necessarily follow the trend as you would personally draw it, in my eyes, anyways. So, what I did, because I have the nature of trading with the trend, and I also trade on break of structure. So if I reset this to 1 and 0, then it paints out a different picture for me. And it paints out something that I do trade, and I do trade break of structure. Each of these little lines here represent structure as I see it. Okay? So whenever I'm looking at this here, I'm looking at the 1 hour, and what I'm looking for is for price to come back to the trend line here and start to move up. I'm seeing that prices come down to the trend line and we've got a bit of a reaction. So I'm expecting to make a new higher low right here, because that's how you describe a trend, is it makes a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're gonna see prices still got a little bit of downward motion here, so we're gonna see if it stops at the trend line, breaks the trend line, or if it turns up. If we create a new lower low, we'll have to look and see for a short. Currently, we're gonna look for a long. And is this a trend break, or is it going to turn up? Okay. Right now, price is looking like it's going to turn up. If we get another blue candle, or it fails to break this structure right here, then we could consider this to be a new higher low. So let's just see what we're gonna have. Okay, okay, price is definitely making a turn here and appears to be moving up. So now we can go to our 15-minute candles and look for signs of depletion here for price to come up. So now we're going to look for some sign of depletion for price to go on up to the next zone. And as we can see, it painted a new line here for structure. And okay, so this is painting some signs of depletion right here, and could be structure to trade against. But we're gonna continue, and we want to see prices making a turn. All right. Notice prices come down, it has made a turn, and we could go to the 5-minute charts to find some entry. Alright, now it's giving a signal right here. We could look to take out a long from the top of this candle and put our stop loss down here at the recent swing low. Now I like to use 1-to-1 to be my risk off. So this would be our entry just above this as structure would paint it because price will have to break that wick structure in order to move up. And structure is typically painted, in my eyes, basically like that on top of the wick. So let's see what happens here. And it appears price might go down. Nope. And this is how we enter with momentum into a trade. We watched price come back to the trend line. We watched for depletion on the 15-minute candles. And then we looked for price to start moving up on the 5 and enter on break of structure. And there you have your 1-to-1, and from there you can look for higher risk reward targets. I like to use the 3-to-1 as my target, but to each their own. And is it gonna hit? It definitely came close there. But as you can see, if you go to the 1-to-1, you can take 50% off and you don't ever have to move your stop loss. We traded break of structure right here. We traded depletion on the 15-minute candles. We waited on the 1 hour, and now we're getting a big move to the upside. And you can let this ride if you want and see how high it goes from here and take your profit, or you can take it all right there depending on yourself. So I don't know how high this goes or if it does, but the expectation is that it's going to make a higher high at some point because that's how trends work. You made a higher low, you made a higher high. The next thing you do is make a new higher low. And there is your 6-to-1 target if you were going with uh, trading risk to reward. I like to trade 1-to-1, gets me risk off. I don't have to worry about it hitting my stop loss. 3-to-1, I take a nice big chunk or bulk of it. And 6-to-1 is typically my next point where I will usually take 100% at that point. So with that, I'm going to make this a short video and call it quits on this one. And I wish everybody a good night wherever you're at, and happy trading, folks.